Welcome back to Snake Eater. So, let's check our camouflage real quick.
And also,
Yes?
Yes, sir.
also, take a look at that sunset. It's really got a nice golden glimmer to it.
Mm-hmm. It does. Alright, for this, it's, let's see. I guess we'll
You
go...
want to take squares?
No, leaf, tiger stripe or leaf seems to be more appropriate.
We'll go with Leaf, since I think Snake looks good in green.
It's funny because, Leaf doesn't look like it changes too much.
Well, as you can see, when you actually look at it in action, it actually does seem to blend in well.
In other circumstances, this could be the scene of a very romantic getaway instead of a covert espionage mission.
I wonder.
It looks still very ominous. Like you're still relatively in the open.
And now Big Boss has found himself in a 1950s sci-fi B-movie with the sound effects you get from those movies. Either that, or since this is 1964, he stumbled into a Doctor Who episode.
Close dreams, because as we will see later, the Soviets have flying, some sort of flying, vehicles for one person each.
I'm pretty sure that's what we saw at the end of the last part. At least it looked like it.
Yeah, I think that those are the same thing, drones.
Can you imagine someone with Big Boss's personality being the Doctor?
Yes.
Trying to think if anything fits the description, but truth be told, I don't think. Because I will say Capaldi, but not really.
Okay. It depends on which phase of Big Boss you're talking about. Like if he's in his
Oh, that reminds me, actually.
This phase.
Go on.
I'd say he's not too far off from maybe the 11th.
That's me, not even close.
No. Like, I feel like he's more upbeat at this stage in his life.
For one, Matt Smith's catchphrase is the doctor always lies, and as told by Snake, he believes himself very professional, and instead not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That reminds me, actually.
Yes, there is
Yes,
that.
Pedro.
That reminds me, I might as well take this advantage of this moment to finish answering Jova's question from a couple parts ago. About whether I considered Naked Snake and Big Boss to be two different characters, like some fans do. But I'll do it after this cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I recognise this part. I watched it on playthroughs.
Yeah, this is one of the more well-known bits, actually, because it introduced the end.
There. And so is Volgin.
And there you go, as you can see, and you can see behind Volgin, there's Eva. Again, covert.
That clearly looks a complete different person. What are you saying?
Yeah. I don't think the game expects you to know it's Eva yet.
No, actually, I think it is. I mean, look at her, like the face, the strut, and everything. I can immediately tell it's to her. I mean, look, there you go.
Ow. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Volgin loves to abuse his secretary a lot.
Yep. So as you can see, this is
if the game had not, cleared enough how much of a dick this guy is.
So as you can see, this Eva sometimes can't quite pick up the radio call because
But yeah, like
she has to keep up her front. So.
Like I said, I don't think we're at the point yet where the game expects you to know that that's Eva. And this isn't the first time we've had a Metal Gear Solid game that does not expect you to know.
Oh, and when I say abuser, I mean in every possible way. This guy is basically the ugly bastard.
I can't speak for other people, but I could figure that out the first time I played this game just fine, right from the get-go, to be honest.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, most people can. I'm not saying that, just because most people could tell, that means that the Metal Gear Solid game expects you to know it.
Hey, Ocelot.
It's time for Ocelot to do his shtick.
You are way too trigger happy, bud.
He's getting better with those revolvers.
He is.
Go Go play with your bullets somewhere else.
Oh boy!
Oh, great, Russian roulette.
I mean, gotta beat the bleedy home for Dorf.
I mean, appropriate.
Around here, we actually managed to make a game show out of Russian roulette.
Of course.
I'm guessing with fake. I'm guessing with fake bullets.
Well,
Three
actually,
guns,
what
though.
happens is you stand on 6 pit trap doors, and you answer questions. And at the end of each round, they do a Russian roulette where if the light lands on your pit, you fall down it,
What
and
the fuck are you doing?
This guy loves to show off too. If you haven't realized it yet.
He's playing Russian roulette on steroids, essentially.
Like juggling.
And yes, like Teo said earlier, Kojima actually got an actual mocap actor on the mocap stage to do this for the animators to replicate.
This is not actually animated in game.
Oh god, he literally soiled
I mean, I can
himself.
understand that. If you don't know, the Soviets love to use this shit by pretending they were gonna execute someone and then pulling a prank and say, just pranked you, bro.
Yeah, and the boss is like, enough.
End with your shit now. Behave.
There's no such thing as luck on the battlefield.
Yeah, gee, thanks, Mom.
be thankful I didn't shoot you.
I mean, Volgin is amused, I guess, but
As for Volgin, well,
That is funny.
as,
He's a dick, so of course.
like I was about to say. Well, Teo, I mean, in regards to what you're saying about Volgin, well, there's a good reason why the game is designated him as the primary villain. So
again, Volgin is a classic type of villain, the one that you just cannot wait to beat the shit out of.
yeah, basically.
But yeah, the boss is re-emphasizing to us a lot. Stop messing around with Snake.
But I wanted to
Basically, the
play
boss-
with my guns.
Basically, the boss is like,
Fuck all of
quit-
you.
Saigon, Joe.
Basically, the boss is like, quit screwing with Snake. The Cobras will take care of him.
Yeah.
Although,
That's another thing. When Volgin is pissed, he's using his electrical powers onto inanimate objects.
The guy has severe. The guy clearly has anger management issues.
maybe that has to do with whatever happened to his face.
And yeah, he loves to use this tactic, having bullet shells on his knuckles in order to create a sort of an impact effect. If you're a One Piece fan, he's basically the Rockwell gun from Lucci.
Eliminate him before the final test.
Don't worry. They'll be able to handle it.
Uh-huh.
And meet
Sure they will.
one of my favorite of the Cobras aside from the boss.
The end.
The end.
Judge.
Roll credits.
Basically, he's a sniper, and that means here that one of the boss battles in this game is a sniper duel.
That
I'm
is
over the,
a forehead.
I got stabbed over the
And
judge's
he
age
runs on
badly.
water.
Oh, yeah, this is the fear. Yeah. And yeah, the end is incredibly old, like really old, like he can literally die of old age at any moment.
For battle.
Yeah. So it's
However-
basically a one-trick pony for this.
Keep in mind what the boss is saying, though. The end is saving his energy.
Yep.
Oh.
There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne.
And when he does, it will be the end.
Ha ha ha.
You've been waiting to say that, haven't you?
Ha ha ha. See, God's so annoyed that that pony made it rain.
Nah.
Not funny. Did not laugh.
You can entertain me until the rain stops.
Ew.
So yeah, as you can see, Eva's mission is not exactly an easy one. So I can forgive her for sometimes not being able to pick up my calls.
Kuwabara.
I don't need a hood.
You're catching pneumonia. Whatever.
The sorrow, is that you?
Wouldn't that be a plot twist after the big
What?
epic hyping up of the boss?
Why is she stalking-
dies of pneumonia.
To the sorrow. The guy is dead.
I wonder.
I wonder.
Okay, Pedro, now is your chance. Have you got anything you can use to shoot him while he's there?
You
That-
want him to shoot a
you
disabled
say
man?
that.
Okay, well, that's okay. The Dwibs is that's might as well, since it's brought it up, I'll mention that. Here's the thing, Shira. Like I've told you, that old man, we're going to have a sniper duel with him later. However, Shira, if you're good enough, you can actually kill him right here, right now, and skip that boss battle that comes hours later.
Arena instead will be filled with generic mooks instead.
Yes. So, however, I don't want to kill the end just yet because that would not allow me to showcase one of my all-time favorite ways of killing a boss from
I
later.
think you get a trophy for killing him early.
Yes, you do. In the HD version, mind
yeah.
you, because
Yeah, obviously.
Anyway, might as well. And while this is going on, I'll answer Joe's question. Like, to be honest, I don't even know where that notion of treating Naked Snake and Big Boss as different characters came from because that makes no
Okay,
goddamn
okay,
sense.
Let me explain. It's the Darth Vader and Anakin.
Yeah.
thing where, you
Oh,
know,
sure. I understand where it comes from. I just think, just like within Star Wars, I don't see the reason for it to begin with, to be honest with you.
That's admittedly
Like,
more
I
of an
don't think it's a Jekyll and Hyde transformation, more like an actual evolution of the character. Sure, a negative one, but still.
Think of it more like an in-story thing where he considers his old self dead, essentially. Like, that name no
MG
longer
Spice
has
is a
any meaning
weird
to me.
sort of parallel by implying via the appearances, sometimes with contrast shot, that the Big Boss is becoming basically an Oni, traditional Japanese demon. But again, that's a story for that game.
No, that's in Phantom Pain, yeah.
I'd argue, though, it's a good thing you're bringing that up because that is where I saw the notion definitely reach its peak, though, thanks to Phantom Pain in that regard.
It's also one of those things, Jova, again, to make my final argument regarding the whole, voice of Snake thing.
What does that have to do with...
Well, the whole idea, because remember, Jova, like the same people who say they're two different characters probably also use the fact that Big Boss is a different voice actor than Naked Snake
No,
does.
they don't.
Oh, they don't? Well, regardless.
It's really a different thing, to be honest.
Yeah. They like much different thing. Look, like I said, it's more like a fan theory, and again, it is something brought on more by the story. Like, here's the thing: when I talk about Darth Vader and Anakin, that's a thing in story where Vader pretty much treats Anakin like an old dead person in that regard. That has been a thing since the original trilogy.
Sure.
The whole that name no longer has any meaning to me. What I'm bringing up is how, starting with Phantom Pain, a lot of fans, and again, like Tia mentioned, this is partly due to stuff that the game itself does with the idea that he is becoming an Oni, and that's also not to mention that gigantic, major, controversial plot twist at the tail end of Phantom Pain, which is like,
Yeah.
holy cow, like that one thing. But yeah, some people have wondered if the idea was supposed to sort of be like that, where Big Boss is legit someone absolutely different from Naked Snake.
Like
To
I
the
said,
point where
I
they are
agree with
two
Pedro, and
different.
it's more of a simple case of just a person losing his humanity.
Oh, no, I
for one
understand.
reason or another.
Oh, sure. I get that. Like, it's just that, I don't really see it as the same thing, though, because like Jova said, Darth Vader considers Anakin someone who's dead at this point. Without spoiling Shiroi, that's not how Big Boss sees his days in this game in Metal Gear Solid 4, so I don't really think it's the same thing.
I argue, if anything, again, with the information that we do know from MG1 and 2, that instead he properly embraces who he has always been, a soldier,
Yeah.
and the idea that, put people in positions such as him do deserve a better life.
Yeah.
Going off of
In his
stuff,
own twisted way, obviously, but
going
still.
off of stuff like Peace Walker and Phantom Pain, he probably considers these the good old days.
Something I want to mention about the end is that, as I Pedro said, you can kill him much early on and you don't have to do his boss battle. The game actually has a codec conversation exclusive to that where the characters congratulate you
Yes.
for killing him early, but then Snake is like, nah, I don't know, something about this really bugs me.
Yes, well, Snake has a very strong sense of honor. He would rather not kill someone in such a cowardly way.
And it's also the game going a bit meta in saying, oh, you managed to circumvent this event, maybe you should have played differently.
It's the game also going, congrats, you took out the bad guy in such an easy fashion. Now you won't get to see the awesomeness that you have denied yourself.
Well, okay.
Great job,
to be
player.
to be fair, I mean, it is the Cold War, and in times of war, fighting fair can sometimes get you killed.
Well,
Not
I can tell you that the game
a lot
doesn't
of the
really
time.
judge you for that. This is not Undertale, Dibs, so don't
Oh,
worry.
no, yeah. Don't worry, Dibs. This is not to the level of Undertale, but it's more like the game saying, hey, you could have had this cool
It's more
boss
of a
fight, but
tongue-in-cheek
you-
No.
kind of movie.
No. Kojima never does that kind of thing. Where he
Okay, technically there is a part later in this game, Pedro, but we're not there yet.
which one? I don't.
What happens after the reference to the fugitive, you know?
I don't consider
which,
that the same thing, honestly.
Which fugitive, TM?
Yes. But again, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
don't worry.
because there's two fugitives that I know of: the TV show and the film based off the TV show.
I just say I get the idea Kojima got inspired by the movie. Well, it would not be completely out of the blue that he was inspired by the series also, because one reference that he starts putting with Peace Walker and continues in Phantom Pain is to the $1 Million Man. And his rocket punch. It even has the same sound effect. Fire!
Okay, I'm curious. Wait, when you say the fugitive based off of the TV series, are you talking about the Harrison Ford classic?
The Harrison Ford movie is based on a series, as we mentioned in the commentary.
Keep on heading north.
I was
Cool
wondering
story,
if there
bro.
might be another fugitive, because it wouldn't make sense for this Snake to be talking about
You
the
know-
fugitive, since that movie hasn't been
Well,
made yet.
I'm
in the
saying that it's a
60s.
visual reference, Jova, not that the characters talk about the movie.
You know, they say
Okay,
the
that
word.
makes more sense.
They said the word North a lot in this game. That I'm surprised that the game isn't called North. Okay, never mind.
North Eater? No, that
Imagine
doesn't work.
North,
Surprise,
the video game.
It's north to northwest instead. That would be a better movie.
Yep.
All right, so what's next?
Let's check with
There
Singent.
seem to be traps planted throughout that area, and they look a little primitive.
I mean, as long as they
but
work,
This
huh?
is their territory. Why would they need this many traps here?
Maybe
Test
it's part of
you.
some kind of tactical research.
Tactical research.
Yeah. As I'm sure you know, the Soviet Union is leading a worldwide revolution among communist forces all over the globe. But a lot of the countries involved don't have the necessary funds and industrial technology, so they need tactics that are both effective and economical.
Cheap and efficient.
Yeah.
That
And
was
traps are one of the
kind of
best
how
ways
the
to do
Soviet
that.
Union ran
I'll
a
bet
lot
that
of
place is
things.
one of their test
It was the
Mhm.
polar opposite of a Marshall
Clappers,
Plan.
arrows, pendulums,
Basically, with
all of these traps are
America,
set off by
America
flying
tended
Just
to get,
vomit
you know,
money to
Don't
Europe
touch
and
the
see if
ropes
it
and you'll
works.
be fine.
yeah, get those
Use rolling to get
technological
over them, or just
innovations
crawl
up and
under.
running and all that.
Either way, I'll
Soviet
do it.
Union,
If
build
you
up
do
on
set up a
manpower.
trap and an arrow or a spiked pendulum comes flying
Manpower.
your way, you can
And
still dodge
see
it
if
by
throwing enough
immediately
enemies
diving
at them
out of the way.
works.
Pit traps and
It's an
snares are camouflaged into the
oversimplification,
ground
but
to make
it
them
does
harder
show
to
how the
detect.
two opposing sides
But
could
if you look
differ in a
carefully
lot of
enough, you
ways.
can see them through the disguise.
Well, Webs,
Find out
regarding the
if you
North
see
thing,
the
I guess it
extra
works like in South Park: The
In
Stick
any
of Truth,
case,
where in
if
order
you
to
think
get
there
to
might be
Canada,
traps
you just
lying
keep
around,
heading
keep a
north.
close eye on the ground
What
and stay
kind of
alert.
boss fight Ape Go that would be?
Huh.
I wonder.
Him outlasting you because he just lived that long?
I don't know.
I guess so. Alright, let's keep rolling through the jungle.
Imagine this, a Metal Gear game with detective vision.
Well, technically you have a tool in 5 that kind of works like that.
I guess.
I mean, again, if you forgot Jova, when you play through the High Frog, I think that's a poisonous one. Again, as a general rule of thumb, if frogs are very colorful, stay the fuck away.
Yeah.
But remember, Jova, when you play through the optional missions for the first Arkham Asylum as the Joker, is equivalent to the detective vision is to put up as we mentioned in Arkham Knight, a genuine pair of X-ray goggles. So
Yes, those are
it's
cool.
not too far-fetched to
I see
imagine
you
a
found
gadget
some
similar
Russian
to that.
Mm-hmm. Let's get this. I was trying to see if there was something else that she had to
Oh
say.
yeah,
Probably
we didn't pick up the
wanna-
frog, so...
Well, yeah, I get that.
Probably
It's
wanna
just
make room for that.
I just wanted to see if she would bring up something about the calorie made
About the
frog.
what?
About the Taiwanese,
Food.
but I think the Russian ration. I don't think I've gotten her to talk about the Russian ration yet.
You did, actually. Snake finds them revolting.
All right.
Wait, was that the Russian ration? I
Yes,
thought that
sir.
was a regular ration.
No, we specifically mentioned about the beef.
All right.
so
Now we have the poison dart frog.
You probably should not consume that, Snake.
Can't
Well,
wait to hear what she has to say about this.
all right. Let's see.
Usually, those poison frog, even in the touch, are...
There you go.
Poison dart frog. The poison dart frog is native to the tropical rainforests of Central and South America.
What
They
is it
normally
doing
grow
here?
between 2 and 5
That's what I
centimeters in
asked with
length,
several
but
other
for some
species.
reason,
Like,
ones
are
in
they
that area
importing
seem
some of
much
these
bigger than
species
that.
here?
Poison
Possibly.
dart frogs are known to carry a potent neurotoxin called pamiliotoxin. Long ago, people used the poison to coat their arrows for hunting. Watch
Some
out,
still
because if
do.
you eat one, you'll get food poisoning.
To say the least.
So, you want to still eat it?
Some of these shit, as I mentioned, literally paralyze you.
Yeah.
Food poisoning is just a
That's this pose.
mild effect. Yeah, be gone.
I'm curious. I've never actually eaten one of those because
It gives you food
somebody's
poisoning, and by
talking
food poisoning, it's literally an injury that you have to treat yourself with anti-venom.
Huh. So literally just collect those so that you can... I forget.
They're there so that we have an excuse for paramedic to give us trivia on the poison dart frog.
Exploring true facts, in fact, about the frogs.
And
Exactly.
also to test for those who would win the Darwin Award if they actually do still eat that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fun Facts with Paramedic.
And this is me, like,
Here's your host.
like for example, this would be me, like if I were into Stoke, you know, like I would hunt whips down, like, and then okay, and then okay, paramedic, describe this. Okay, that's that's a Brit. Then explain. Okay,
The most dangerous game.
the most dangerous
Yes.
creatures.
Good luck with that. Good luck with explaining the Brit.
This is a Brit, a Stoke variant.
Yeah, the Stoke Brit.
Suffering a deep cut. Also,
Yeah.
since we didn't mention it, I find it very
A surprising
funny.
close, not quite relative to the Welsh variant of the Brits.
All right.
The actions may vary.
So I hear. However, they say that if you put a Brit in the same room as a Welsh, the Brit will accuse the Welsh of having stolen Doctor Who from them for some reason. Results may
And,
vary.
casualty.
Bandage and splint.
I keep forgetting
I
about Casualty for some reason.
You have to remember, Jova, that the UK has like a shit ton of soap operas and similar series.
Pretty minor compared to what England has stolen, isn't it?
Yeah, those museums are made.
Yeah.
You think
and it's
those
like-
museums were gift
Meanwhile,
shops at this
the
point?
Scottish people are just having a laugh, probably.
And it's like what Shuri said before. Yes, Wales also now has Crime Watch, but to be fair, that's a show you can make anywhere.
Yeah.
I
Watch,
will-
what is that? Like your equivalent to CSI?
No, it's actually it's a daily TV show where they actually talk about real criminals and what they've done, and the information you may need to call the police in case you
And we did it.
they even do these reconstructions.
So how do we get...
Like
Of
they're
the crimes
usually
they committed.
active. They're usually active crimes. Like where
Yeah.
they might be still looking for people. So.
Yeah. So yeah, we found the lab where Sokolov is. So now we have
How
to
do we
find
get
a
there?
way to get in.
I gotta get in
Surely you
there.
remember to bring your wire cutters, right?
Remember, these things are electrified, as Pedro tested.
Can you jump over the fence?
If we have to
Sokolov
use...
is inside
oh,
the
no.
lab. Look for a way in and use it to infiltrate
Yeah,
the
if
lab.
we had to use the logic of right-to-left retribution, Snake should actually take a complete detour, enter into a power plant, murder everyone inside, steal a truck, actually blowing it in the whole thing up, and then use another truck to ram into the fence.
One of these
Yeah, well-
days, we'll tackle
Well,
that
yeah,
game.
I
thought,
had
I
no
thought-
strength to actually
Honestly,
do it.
Tio,
You had no idea the amount of texture popping the PS3 version of the game has.
I thought one of your
know.
points was going to be, and in between that, go and have Rompy Pompy with some dead-eyed woman.
Oh, don't
Actually,
worry.
that does happen during the process.
Actually, that happens in between missions.
Yes, it does. Oh, good lord. I
That
swear,
game was
right?
made in the UK, and I am so sorry.
I will say this: Ride to Hell Retribution was the later generation Superman 64. It is that broken.
It
It
was
is
supposed
that
to be an open
ugly.
war game.
Yeah, I know, right? It
Is
is
it?
that generation Superman 64.
Is it
All
as
that's missing are the
obtuse?
ring missions.
Yes, Pedro.
Is it as annoyingly obtuse and impossible to comprehend how to progress as Superman 64 is?
Not really. It's better than Dev in Super 64 on that front, admittedly. But it's still very
However-
obnoxious.
And also, it does have ride levels. Oh, sweet Jesus, the motorcycle levels.
Then there's no time to wait.
Well, there you go. See another opening here. It's a good. It's a good thing these people don't take good care of their fences.
I mean, it's Soviet engineering. I'm fully expecting that.
And they wonder why they lost the Cold War in the long run.
Also, Dweebs, you're giving the voice acting too much credit because the voice acting of the game sucks beyond everything. I have no idea who even the people involved were.
Yeah, what-
I can believe that.
Wait, you just ran right in front of that dog. Why didn't you pacify it from behind?
Sorry, Snake pulled the trigger.
There you go.
Please give us a pound. Oh, we'll pull the trigger.
It's okay. The dog's just asleep.
Thank goodness. But yeah, no. I mean, the voice acting is bad. That's when you can actually hear it because the audio editing in that game is atrocious to the point where I'm gonna say it. Superman 64 had better audio.
I'll talk about this bit because this is another. Okay, so the door is locked. So what do we do?
Get a lockpick or Jill Valentine, the master of unlocking.
No, that wasn't
Nope.
work either. I know, we used to use Layton logic. Solve a puzzle.
Oh, so in that case,
Solve
should
the
we be
puzzle.
playing? In that case, we should be playing Dr. LeTrick, which is a
Snake, the
fusion of
enemy
Metal
appears
Gear
to be using
Solid
that
and
door to enter
Layton, I
Orally.
guess.
Think you can sneak in?
It has stealth and puzzles, technically.
That
Okay.
door appears to be locked from the inside. You won't be able to open it from the outside.
No.
There must be some way to use the door to sneak inside.
And what do you propose?
Well, I
Marriage.
Come on,
Oh.
come on, James Bond fan.
Excuse me.
Ritual dance.
That's what they do in Japan when they find a door that won't open.
Are you serious?
Of course.
certainly seems to know a lot about Japan.
Okay, now I'm wondering if there have been a lot of shenanigans at Japanese offices when doors have been locked.
Then you think of something.
Well, if you're so smart, then you think of something.
The people in charge of saving the
Paramedic, you're
world.
literally part of my suggestion team. For fuck's sake.
Is a lot of
people-
this gonna be just them bickering over the phone? Because this is great.
The people in charge of saving the world from nuclear warfare, everybody.
All right. So here's what you have to do. You have to knock on the door. See?
Huh. That was actually super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
We're using Looney Tunes logic in here.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
They're playing Ding Dong Ditch, really.
There you go.
It would have been funny if you didn't even bother with the guy, just snuck right in.
Well,
There you go.
well, Tio, I can tell you that the guy who played Colt in Ride to Hell Retribution survived that game.
Oh, goody.
His most recent game was this year. Even he was in Fire Emblem Engage.
I
All
guess-
right.
Surprising.
Actually, was there anyone noteworthy in that game?
Not that I do know of, aside from what we've said.
I'm just looking through it now.
And even
the
so,
guy-
most of them put up a very poor Southern accent.
Yeah.
Alright, so what do you have to tell us today,
And like-
paramedic?
Yeah.
And like, keep in mind,
Maybe
Southern
trivia.
accents are usually the go-to easy American accent voice. So, like, you couldn't even do that right?
Snake, have you ever seen the War of the Worlds?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
For the record, she's talking about the original.
Flying saucers from Mars arrive on Earth.
What was up
disguised
with
as
that
meteorites.
pause no? It's
The
almost
saucers
like
use
he's
their heaters
denying
to attack
seeing
the
it.
nearby towns. And then,
What?
Something wrong.
the thing is, I was too scared to watch. I had my eyes shut almost
I
the whole time.
mean,
Then you haven't seen
really wasn't,
No, it's not
considering the other
bad.
stuff that you watched.
I guess if you're afraid of saucers with
The
legs.
thing, compared to
Oh,
the
and-
other movies that she
Remind me,
mentioned,
though. When I was 2 years old,
My class listened to that radio drama.
Oh, really?
After dinner on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we were relaxing.
Well, from what, even if you recall correctly, Dominic Noble did debusted these myths and mentioned that it was mostly a lot exaggerated.
My father said he and my older brother actually believed it and started yelling and panicking. My mother supposedly grabbed me from my crib and took me out to the car, still wrapped up in blankets.
So you got traumatized by Frank. Damn.
Ah, yes, the infamous hoax radio call of alien invaders.
How fucking gullible are your parents?
Okay. To be fair, this is back in the older days.
And well, Jova, like I said, apparently it was very overblown in terms of, you know, people reacting to that.
They also apparently did go all out with the production values to make it seem.
Bing Crosby was very believable from what he said.
The Martians are coming.
That's terrible.
Isn't it though?
So, you haven't seen the movie?
I saw it. So even nuclear weapons.
In the most
work against the
technical
Martian
sense
war
of the
machines.
word, honey.
Anyway, Snake, if you
He
consider
ain't
yourself
even
like
buying
the
it.
Martians did, the enemy won't know what hit them.
You say that from a movie that you have not properly seen. Again, the people in charge of saving us from nuclear warfare, everybody. Textbook.
Oh, look, something like a box.
I get it.
Ah,
You never saw the movie.
I'm
I
never
saw
letting
it,
that
alright?
go.
I saw it, okay? Shut up.
She is never gonna live that down.
Damn it,
Yes.
Snake, you're awful to talk to movies
So
about.
Pedro, question.
Go on.
Which video game would you say has it the best with movie trivia? This or Deadly Premonition?
Oh, I will argue the execution is different because the way that is done in the premonition, like he's literally talking to you about, oh, remember those movies we used to watch and shit like that. In here, it's just her sharing her passion with Snake. So I will argue that being said, in terms of movie trivia, Kojima, of course, is the ultimate. Remember, like he himself says in his Twitter page, 70% of his body is made of movies. So of course, Kojima. So of course, and I'm not kidding. That's literally what's written in his Twitter page. So I'm not. So of course, nobody beats Kojima at movie trivia in games because I mean, this guy was doing it way before it was cool. So.
He barely talks about his own work on his Twitter. It's just to look at movie exhibitions he's going to.
That's the thing, Sheila. Kojima likes to use his Twitter just to share what he's doing, and and that's it. Like he, and that's better. I mean, occasionally he used, like for example, when Death Stranding first came out, he made a tweet thanking his entire team at Kojima Productions, stuff like that. Occasionally he'll do something like that, Shirai, but most of the time he doesn't particularly like talking about himself. He just wants to talk. Oh, look, I'm in this place. Look how cool it is. And that's it, basically.
Today I'm in the bathroom. Wait, why am I
Yes.
tweeting this?
Or like when or like how he recently turned his office into what looks like a office of a Bond villain. I mean, I get that you're a Bond fan, dude, but that's too far even for you. Like, all right, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
That's